This is so interesting because if we just decided to just stop, we would die. My man. Wow.
Did I do it right?
What you think, Matt?
Beautiful.
You're the only one not with a camera.
Beautiful.
Just taking in the moment.
Soaking it in, man. Soaking it in.
Dibs on your kidney.
It's probably bigger than this. It's pretty heavy. I don't know if it's as heavy as it is. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's not as heavy.
Yeah, it is pretty heavy.
All wrong.
Where's my strap? All right, ready to go.
Get it, boys.
Yes.
What are you doing?
What's up, guys? This is Ben, and we are at Roan Highlands in Pisgah Cherokee National Forest. This trip is sponsored by Coastal Apparel. Go check them out. We're gonna be doing some filming up on the trails and give people an idea of what this hike looks like, especially out here in the snow. It's pretty beautiful, but we're gonna get going. Pretty amazing up here.
Without our packs. Because your pack's wider than mine and
Right.
I barely fit.
Okay.
And there's a lot of this.
All right, so we're gonna go to the spot below.
Boys,
We're gonna go to that campsite we just passed.
Matt will be pleased. We get back and Matt already has his hammock set up. Like he didn't even pass it. He's just like, all right, boys. Roman, what brand? Roman, what brand of hammock are you in? You know? Okay. The one thing that's killing me right now just this second, is like in 5 seconds, is that if we hike up tomorrow the rest of the way and find a better spot. No, this looks really nice to be honest. There's the long shot.
So what do you guys think? This is it for the night?
This is it.
I think we found it, boys.
Yep.
Nice and hard.
We were in it to win it, and we won it.
We won it.
That was a pretty good picture of you, Roman.
Oh yeah?
That was a group picture.
Oh, luck.
Dude, this is amazing.
Just guessing here. This will focus on me or not. It is pretty cold. I'd be interested to see what the temperature is. Look it up when we get back. But in a snowstorm. Last night I didn't really shoot anything. I just kind of focused on fire and food. The wind kept blowing our fire out. So anyway, I'm going to give you a view of what our campsite looks like right now. Nobody else, including myself, nobody's emerged from their sleeping situation yet. I don't think anybody wants to get out in the cold yet. But it's pretty much a whiteout. To my right, can't see the mountain at all. If it were clear, that would be a really nice view. But here's the campsite.
Is it not yours?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm a little cold, but I'm excited to get to it. Lots of snow, it's pretty awesome, so made it through the night.
I put my boots in my sleeping bag, and now they're like super dry. I like it.
It's a good decision, I guess. Did your sleeping bag not get wet?
Oh no, it's soaked. But embrace the suck.
Alright.
We embraced it this year, alright?
Here's our little party animal. How about Matt? Matt hadn't come out of the tent yet. There he is.
Say what?
Did you see your shadow?
6 more weeks of winter, bro. Camped in a blizzard on top of a windy mountain. We survived. We're men.
Hallelujah!
We're worthy.
But we'll be worthy if we can put this stuff back down.
Yeah.
Jake just offered to pay somebody, like, I don't know, like a certain amount of money to take his stuff down for him.
I told you my
He's like, I'll Venmo you later. Look like a ninja. It's pretty blizzardy.
Complete whiteout.
That was our cook station last night. It's completely covered in snow. My poncho blew away. I gotta go get it. Man, this is wild. Makes you feel alive.
Whole different world.
Your hair is like it's frozen
My
coming out of you.
signature, my signature National Geographic. Woo! It is windy, boys.
Man. Say hello, Ben.
I got the GoPro, nice.
There.
What's up, man? This is probably the craziest blizzard I've ever been in. Just personally, you know. I know there's other places on Earth where this is like, you know, pales in comparison, but for a North Carolina boy, this is pretty daggone extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking for my glove.
What color is it?
Black.
Black.
It's like a doeskin black glove.
Hey, oh.
You know what? I'm gonna go look in my quilt, in my underquilt.
Yeah, do that.
Look at my poles.
Yeah.
My hiking poles are all completely frozen.
Well, I'm trying to decide if it's worth it to pull out my DSLR and have cold hands.
I already got my bag packed. I just gotta pack the tent now.
I just have to stuff my sleeping bag.
Let's hurry up and get going
Yeah.
before this wind gets worse.
Here's your. It's definitely going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel infinitely nicer behind it.
Yes. Without snow blasting into your face and stuff.
This is the kind of stuff I want to be able to tell Nolan. Be like, yeah, your dad's a badass.
This whole time I've been like, this is kind of cool, kind of neat thing. But I texted a couple people like a photo last night and they're like, damn, that's intense. So
Right?
I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it is kind of crazy. Yeah. Oh, man, your camera's covered, bro.
It's fine.
Yeah, they usually are.
Well, the 6D is not weatherproof.
Huh? You could have told me different. I've had this thing out in some crazy conditions and it's always been fine.
Yeah, they're always legendary.
That's a journey in and of itself. Taking this stuff down.
Yeah. It's a big journey. And I can't tuck my hair into my hat, so it's just there.
Yeah, mine too. Right, keeps like going out.
Yeah.
Keep pushing it back in.
Trying to fly away? Which way are we folding it?
We're gonna fold it.
This is deep.
This is awesome. let's get it going.
Let's get it.
Lead the way, soldier.
Word.
Yeah.
Just like a snowboard right down through the...
Yeah, like just some skis or snowboard, and you could just get down this really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel everything tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully I'll feel my hands again tomorrow.
Actually, this thing going.
Picture of you getting a picture of me.
This is the standard photographer profile shot. How you guys feeling? You have so much frost on your beard, it's crazy.
Love this shit. I'm not a beach ski guy. Never put myself to it. It's not for everyone.
Give me some kind of heroic pose. Arms up in the air.
Is this heroic? I'm on a...
Arms in the air, fool!
Take your dick out.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Pretty exhausted. But good story to come. So that's the thing to look forward to. My face is kind of frozen, so it's a little hard to talk.
Oh gosh, I want to laugh and cry at the same time.
Brett found a windy break for us. Break from the wind.
Oh, it's so nice.
Your beard is frozen solid.
Yeah.
Your beard looks like one of these trees, man.
It does.
Mine's frozen solid.
I was just telling him my hip flexors are on fire.
This is so interesting because, like, if we just stopped, we would die.
Yeah.
Where are they at? Man, they're back there.
They are, aren't they? Can't even text.
Yeah. Challenging your will to live.
Wow, that didn't work out. Oops.
What's up, Emory?
What's up? We're just chilling.
Very chillin'.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna look at a map.
A map?
Yeah,
Why?
because I just want to know.
Google Maps?
He's like, just shut up and leave me alone.
I just want to know. Yeah, Google Maps.
We've been going the wrong way this whole time.
I would cry.
I'd be like, well, you guys have a good trip back. I'm gonna stay
Right.
here and die.
Honestly.
So how far is it?
3,000 feet, he said.
10 football fields, my friend.
3,000 feet down?
Oh God. Yep, it's hard. All right. Whew. say?
I asked him if he wanted to take point.
Hey Ben, you want to lead?
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hip flexors need a break.
Yeah, I got you.
My legs are so sore. I was trying to listen to like some Nordic metal. That makes you feel like climbing a mountain. Dude, the thing is, I feel like climbing a mountain and my muscles are saying, I don't know. Oh, I thought you were about to say set up camp.
Say what?
So I thought you were about to say set up camp.
No.
You want to try and get to the top of this hill? Yeah, straight, literally straight. It's that super, no, straight there.
There's a dip right there.
Is there?
I don't think this is it.
Maybe it's that. It's to the right. Yeah, this is it. To the left. No? It's kind of hard to tell, actually. No, that's definitely not it. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's leg deep over here.
Emory, you should get a video of this.
We're almost there. I know.
So close.
Say what?
You see their footsteps somewhere?
No. I think we go that way though. Yeah. I mean, we can go in this grove and look at the map and then we'll know. You want to? Hey, we're gonna go up to these trees and look at the map. Let's take a look at the map. All right. Ready?
That's right.
Yeah, we go in. We go down here. Left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn, and then we're there. Yeah.
Your beard looks cold.
Yeah, we slept out here.
Oh my! Well, you survived. Congrats.
Thanks.
You ever watch that film, Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Love that film.
Yeah, so there's a scene, I was telling Brett, there's a scene in that movie where he's looking for this photographer the entire time, and he finally catches up with him on top of the snow-capped mountain. And the photographer is trying to take a picture of a snow leopard, and it's extremely rare and hard to photograph. And when he catches him, he sits down, the photographer's framed, he's watching the snow leopard approach, and the leopard, they're standing there, they're sitting there talking to each other, and the leopard looks right into the camera, and it's like this ideal, perfect shot, and the photographer doesn't take the shot. And Walter is like, that was perfect, why didn't you take the shot? And he says, sometimes I don't take the shot because the moment is too perfect and I have to enjoy the moment. And I feel like that scene really, like, I remember a lot about that movie, but that was the one thing that really stood out to me.
That's probably the most.
It's very profound, yeah.
It's the most profound photography scene I think that was ever created.
And it's super applicable to like today, especially with like social media and stuff like that. People get so absorbed in you know, what's at their fingertips and what's in front of their eyes, that they don't actually like stop to enjoy the moment. You know, the little moments that are around them, or they miss them. They completely miss them. I'm guilty of it myself. I do it all the time. But
I think we've gotten pretty good at not capturing our favorite moments.
Yeah. It's nice to see real people again. Not my hallucinations. I don't know what it was. I think I was so cold last night. I literally like was awake, but like saw in my mind a car pull up at our campsite. Yeah, like a couple things like that. I kept seeing like flashing lights. Well, how's it going? It was like police lights. And then I'll be honest, when you told me to go, what? Maybe. I mean, it was all in my brain though.
So did it be so easy?
Yeah. Oh, you good?
Yep.
Do you need a hand? Imagine I step in the same spot. This is like the definition of trudging.
Trudging?
Trudging? I see cars.
Yeah, it's so many. I didn't
Right.
expect there to be that many cars.
Me neither. Everybody waited till late in the day to come hike.
Just like laughing at us.
we made it.
Yeah.
It's about how much snow came in last night. Get a good. There you go. You can see the. It's about 6 inches.
Well, it probably snowed way more up there.
Rock and roll.
I just gotta see if our doors are stuck, you know, frozen shut.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Gotta get one of these.
I don't want any. I'm gonna get off this mountain. My face is frozen.
Brett, what makes you want to do things like what we just did?
Well, I believe the thing that kills you in life is getting sucked up in life, and you forget that things like these are very important for a long, adventurous, healthy, meaningful lifestyle. And so I believe that's one thing, and another thing is it's just great adventures and stories with the boys.
What was it you said earlier? You either go through pain now.
Yeah, or you go through pain on a mountain, or you go through pain years down the road on a couch.
Yep.
So,
It's an hour later, right?
embrace the suck, man.
So Matt, what did you think of Roan Highlands?
It was amazing. Anything that reminds me of Lord of the Rings is always a big plus. The ball tops are amazing for views, terrible for wind.
definitely will be going back, but not when there's a blizzard coming through and 4 feet deep of snow.
I like the old days where I had really light packs because I was unprepared and didn't know what to pack. I was a lot lighter back then. I was a lot colder back then.
So what were your thoughts on Roan Highlands?
Oh man, it was beautiful. It was majestic. It was a lovely time. So like a good hearty meal for the soul. That's what it was. It always kind of rejuvenates my spirit a little bit back to life. So it was good. I would do it again, just not this year.
What'd you guys think?
It was intense.
This is your first snow camping experience?
First snow camping, yes. And
So what was it like as a first timer?
well, so it wasn't the first snow hike, but it was the first snow camp. And I'd say it was what I was expecting, except that we didn't get to put a fire on because the wood was all wet. So other than that and not eating something good in the morning before our hike back, and the intense like 40-mile-an-hour winds, it was intense. If I was alone, don't know if I would be standing here right now.
It's that bad, huh?
Well, it wasn't even that bad. It was just like, could just sleep here in the snow. It was brutal.
It was the most intense trip I've ever done. Also, the one probably be talking about the next 15 years, so it definitely fulfilled the level of something that's miserable while you go through it, but incredibly fun afterwards. So now it's on the incredibly fun part now that we're back. So
Cool.
now we got all the memories.
And what's the comparison to our first time we got caught in the snow at Mount Mitchell?
That time, the weather wasn't as intense, I don't believe. We were just so ill prepared. It was probably a little more intimidating. Now we have more experience and know what we were doing. We were prepared for it at least. So we just had to kind of face the intensity and get through it.
No basketball shorts.
I packed them. I ended up leaving them in the truck. As soon as we got there, I was like, it's not basketball shorts weather.
Probably a good decision. Good stuff.
What's up, guys? This is Ben. I hope the fact that you're still with me means that you enjoyed the video at least a little bit. I wanted to take a few minutes just to talk about why we decided to make a video this time around, and also just touch on a few things about the hike itself and some things we could have improved on, some different decisions we could have made to make things a little easier on ourselves. First off, the reasons for making a video. I started making videos when I was a teenager. Started with skate videos, and then it moved into just documenting everything with my little Hi8 video camcorder. I don't know why I never really translated that over to YouTube. I guess I just got busy between school and work and kids, but I decided, heck, why not? My friends and I have been talking about it for several trips in a row now, that we should film this, because mainly we saw a guy out on the trail in Grayson Highlands, actually, and he had this 360 camera, and he was doing a map of the trail itself the same way that Google Street View would do. And I stopped and talked to the guy, and he was telling me that the reason they were doing that was so that people could take virtual tours of the trails. People who were maybe immobile or physically incapable of getting up onto the trail and really enjoying it, seeing the views, having the experience. And we wanted to just kind of tag on to that idea. I'm well aware there are a lot of people that just don't ever go out and do this sort of thing, whether it be because they can't or because they haven't been inspired to do so. So the other reason, other than people who can't hike, we wanted to make a video so that we might inspire other people to get outdoors and go see the sights, go get on the trail, push yourself, challenge yourself, and hopefully find what we've found, which is a way to slow down in this fast world that we live in, a way to just clear everything out, leave everything else behind, and just focus on your thoughts and the tasks at hand, walking, preparing food, setting up camp, and most importantly, I think, conversations with your friends. We always have some great memories. It's a great opportunity to catch up and just to almost take it back to the days of our youth, where we didn't have responsibilities, we didn't have all these things going on that just kind of clouded things, and we could just hang out and just be friends. And so yeah, we wanted to inspire other people to do the same thing. And so that being said, I wanted to touch on the few things on the hike that we could have done better. I have a few notes. The first thing is, I would say that every hike is a learning experience. I learn something new every single time I go backpacking, whether it be about decisions that I made or things that I packed. You learn a lot about what you think you need versus what you actually need. And I've gotten to the point where I'm a pretty light packer, especially in the summer. But I still, even, like, my big thing is food. I carry way too much food. Every time I go hiking, when I'm coming back down the mountain, I'm bringing food with me. Even when I did a week on the Appalachian Trail, I took too much food, and I brought it back with me. And it's just extra weight to carry, and it's not necessary. You can really be a lot more freed up. I mean, every pound counts when you're carrying everything you have on your back. So that would be one thing I would say. This particular trip, our choice of campsite was probably not the best. Normally, we set up camp on places where we would have a good view, whether it be by a river or on a ridge overlooking some sort of majestic scene. And that was what we had in mind this time. But this time around, there was a snowstorm. And we knew about the snowstorm coming in, and it didn't deter us. It actually kind of excited us. We were excited about just the elemental, like, man versus wild kind of feeling that brought, and determined to do it anyway. And we didn't think about the fact that in a blizzard, you can't see very far. And so we set up camp on this ridge that, when we set up camp, it was a beautiful landscape view. But the next morning when we got up and were making coffee and all that, nothing. You couldn't see anything at all. With that being said, we probably should have moved further into the trees. We would have had better shelter from the wind and from the snow. Probably would have had a better camping experience. So next time I'll pick a better spot. Something else I would touch on with the camping part of it is proper gear, proper clothing. Definitely dress in layers. A lot of people think, like, oh, if I'm going hiking in the snow, I just need to wear a good jacket. But the reality is, if you're hiking, you're exerting so much energy that you are going to sweat. That's just the fact of the matter. It doesn't matter how cold it is. If you are really exerting yourself, you're going to sweat. And that's fine on the trail for the most part, but when you get to the place where you're stopping, where you're setting up camp and you're not moving anymore, you're not exerting yourself anymore, that sweat gets cold really fast. So I always wear layers. I bring extra clothing in my pack so that whenever I get to the camp, I can switch it out. I'm not wet and I don't get cold. Also, you can kind of regulate your body temperature by having different degrees of layers on. As far as sleeping arrangement goes, the 2 times that I've camped in the snow prior, I've been in a tent, and that has its positives and negatives, but the big negatives, I would say, are that you're either on the snow or you're on frozen ground. So you always have this cold layer underneath you, and if you have a good sleeping pad and a good bag, like, it can be okay, but in my experience, I never really got a good night's sleep. I just was always cold regardless, because you're on something cold. And this time around, I went with a hammock with an underquilt. So you have a quilt that goes underneath and clips onto the ends of the hammock. wraps underneath and creates an insulative barrier on the underside. And then I also took an extra measure and put a thermal blanket inside the hammock. And then I have my 0-degree bag and also a whoopee inside, a military blanket, just for a little bit of extra insulation. And I did not get cold. I was totally fine, totally warm the entire time I was hiking and the whole time that we were stopped, even in the middle of the night when we were sleeping. I got a great night's rest. I wouldn't change that. That's something I will definitely do again next time. I probably won't use a tent again. Next thing I would say is that there's safety in numbers. That's a real thing. And that's true on any hike, but especially in the snow when there's low visibility. We did not see another group of hikers probably from about halfway up the first day until we almost got to the parking lot the second day. And of course that's because we're the only idiots dumb enough to go out there and camp in a blizzard. But nevertheless, we were the only ones out there for the most part. Another note on that is that the snow, especially wind-driven snow, will cover footprints very, very quickly. We learned that. It was actually surprising to me how quickly the tracks got covered. There were a couple of instances where a few members of the group needed to go at a little bit slower pace, which is totally fine. But they lagged behind, and myself and a couple others were a few hundred yards ahead of them. And by the time they got to us, because of the wind, our tracks were completely gone. So they were following pretty much a fresh trail and could only go by the brush sticking up on either side. You'll see in the video, or you did see in the video, there was one instance where we actually lost the trail because we thought we were on the trail, and then all of a sudden it's like it's not there anymore. And I think we did make the right decision in that scenario. We did backtrack and we tried another route, and that ended up being the right one. But that's a very real danger. That's where things tend to go wrong. The stories you hear about people going missing and stuff, that's usually what happens, is they go the wrong way, they get turned around. So it's very important to make sure that you have your bearings. And if you start to feel uneasy about it, sometimes the best bet is to backtrack a little and see if there's something you missed. That worked out fine for us. It always has. We've never gotten lost in the probably 40 hikes that I've done over the years. But we have helped a few lost hikers, so it really does happen. It's something you really have to be aware of. Next thing I would note is there was a mistake that we made. We did not sleep with our water bottles. We didn't consider just how cold it was going to get that night, and most of us left our water bottles in our packs. So, of course, it froze overnight, and the whole hike down the next day, we didn't really have water to drink because everything was frozen. We were able to thaw it out just a little bit by like tucking our water bottles into our jackets while we were hiking down, but it was just like every so often you get a little tiny sip where the ice is melted. Otherwise, we would have had to have stopped and heated, and melted the ice. And we had the ability to do that. We had the right gear and everything, but we didn't really want to stop. We wanted to keep moving, keep that motion going, stay warm through motion. So next time I'll sleep with my water bottle in my hammock. The last thing I would touch on, and this was probably the most impactful thing, at least for me, was before the hike, I always have my bag and everything laid out, and I'm deciding, making decisions based on weight, what I'm going to put in the bag, what's important, what's not important. And I considered taking my snowboarding goggles, and I ended up not taking them, and I wish that I had. I had the thought, well, yeah, they're for the snow, but it's for when you're going fast downhill on a snowboard and the wind is blasting you in the face, and we're not going to have that scenario. But the reality was we actually did encounter that scenario. When we were up on the ridge the second day, the snowstorm was in full blast. We had some pretty heavy winds. You'll see in portions of the hike that I think Brett, actually, there's footage of him walking sideways. And that's because he's got his back to the wind, because it was just burning our faces. It was so intense. And most of the group had sunglasses. I did not. I ended up getting corneal frostbite. And the capillaries, that means that the capillaries in my eye actually froze, and I didn't realize it until I got down the mountain, and I mentioned to the other guys once we stopped to get food, like, hey, are your eyes burning? My eyes are burning. Nobody else had the same experience, but by the time I got back to my house, my entire eye was just blood. And thankfully, it didn't get into where it affected my vision or anything like that, but I had a bloody eye for a couple of weeks, and I'll show a picture. But anyway, I count myself lucky. Next time, I will take eye protection, especially if we're going anywhere where it's that cold, which we will certainly do again. But we'll be a little better prepared. We always are. Every hike's a learning experience. I learned something on every trip. Those are the things I learned this time. So anyways, if you guys like the video, please let me know. I'd love to make more of them. I'm going to be hiking anyway, and I love making videos just in general, documenting things. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to know about what kind of gear we use, where we went, just other places, other good hikes that we would recommend, let me know. I'm all ears, and I'll answer questions as quickly as I can. I'm pretty busy, so it might take me a little bit, but I will get to it. But anyways, again, hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.